Okay, so how do we lane with backline harassing guys and win our lane that way?
For battle.
That's the question for this one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's have a look. So what I'm going to try and do is minimize the amount that I'm pausing here.
Okay.
Just keep the time short. So it's like 2:43 right now. So we'll try and do it for 30 minutes and see how that goes. I was watching your camera. And I'll let things play out, and then if I see something, we can talk about it.
Okay.
Hey, AM doesn't know how Skywrath Select works. That's good for you.
I'll give them a drubbing they'll not soon forget.
Oh, it does work. I don't know how it works. Good job, AM.
I think because concussive shot isn't targeted, maybe.
That's weird, yeah. I think what I'll do is I'll watch through the whole lane and see how it goes, and then we'll go back and look at it.
Okay.
Because I want to look for particular trends.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
We'll go to like, I don't know, 8 or 9 minutes in game and see how that looks.
Okay.
Dire are scanning.
Roughly where the lane phase is broken down whenever that happens.
Dire's turret has been killed.
You're looking around more, that's good.
Yeah, I've been really trying to focus on that.
That's good.
Thank you.
Nice.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle
Still kind of feels like a lane phase. Not seeing any rotations yet.
tower has been denied.
Okay, so a tower's gone down. All right, we'll go to here. So the first thing I'm noticing is your health and mana are getting too low too much. So you're running out of mana too quickly. So you need to be picking up more regen. Next thing I noticed is we didn't use the hard camp at all. So we didn't do any single pulls, we didn't do any stack pulls, nothing like that, right? Other thing I'm noticing, and this is Skywrath specific, Skywrath has 0 armor, so he doesn't want to be trading right clicks like virtually ever.
Right.
Especially against Jakiro that explicitly wants to right click trade because he has 3 armor and he has attack speed slows. He's good at right click trading. Skywrath doesn't want to do that ever. He's throwing spells constantly. So it's basically just like minimize the damage you're taking from trading with Jakiro. Make sure you have enough regen constantly. Like I wouldn't prioritize your boots here. I'd prioritize like, you know, stick, extra mangoes, maybe null talismans, Ring of Basilius would be good in this lane, right? Because both of you need the mana. And then making sure you're using this camp in some way. Like getting at least, you know, like 1 pull off the whole time would be good.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're stopping the Jakiro from pulling. You're contesting this, but you're not doing your own pulls. So let's see. We'll run it back again, and I'll note things here. So obviously this lane is screwed immediately because this Tidehunter is saving for Ring of Health and has nothing.
Yeah. I think that might have been, there was like, I remember this game a little now. I think I felt for some reason that it felt like pulling wasn't going to be super effective. And I think maybe the reason being was I felt like Tide was playing very passively. So it felt like pulling was just going to end up with that situation where I pull, they go farm the camp.
Yeah,
and
you're right. Once he's in that position where he's low health, but once he's got health again, like, and you guys have some levels, like, then you're good. You can start doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're right. You know, when he's sitting on 200 health, probably not going to be pulling at all. Like this trade here, we do not want to do this. This is not a good trade for you.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say is you're actually interacting too much with the Jakiro. And you're playing on the side too much. So when you want to play these like lane dominating supports, you want to be sitting in lane clicking on this AM like every possible chance you have. Like whenever you can get free damage in, like that's how you win the lane. Is you just, it's like you're an extra range creep that is just locked onto one of them all the time. And your harass needs to be going on the core whenever possible. Unless it's not possible, then you just harass the other support, right? And that would be a positioning thing, right? So like here, if you just go run past the Jakiro and hit the AM right here, you're going to take too much damage. So now you have to attack Jakiro, right?
Right.
But what I would like is, instead of being positioned back here where you are, be positioned like over here, and just clicking on this AM constantly. So every time he goes for a last hit, he hits a right click. Every time he hits Tidehunter, he hits a right click to the face. You know?
Yeah.
Here you can stack.
True.
Because the thing is, like, yeah, you guys don't really want to fight over the pole camp, but AM can't really fight into stacked camps very well anyway, because he has no AoE early. Jakiro's decent at it. Tidehunter's decent at it. So it's roughly even for you guys in terms of actually clearing the camp, but you still want to make the opportunity by like getting the stack in, right? And the other thing is, if you have a core that can easily clear stacks, you don't have to be worried about this so much. Because if Tidehunter, you know, levels up his E, right, he can farm it kind of whenever. Even if you never get a chance to pull it, he can just come back and farm it.
True.
Dire's middle
Yeah, I think I was a little overly cautious about like AM blinking on me and draining my mana, and then like Jakiro slowing me or some shit like that. So I think I postured overly defensively.
Yeah, I would agree. The thing is, like, if AM does that, like, you have a Tidehunter sitting next to you, and like Tidehunter can click on AM as well. Like, see, like the thing is, like, when you are playing in the lane, like, you are harassing this AM out of lane. It's just you're not doing it enough.
Yeah.
Like, this is good. This is what we want. And now he's not last hitting anything. He's got to spend more money on regen. You know, he can't play aggro on the Tide at all, so Tide gets to recover a little bit. Like, this is good. We're winning lane right now. This is where I might pull, actually.
Yeah.
If you wanted, like, you could do a little pull here, and you could punish them harder because now he's too weak to contest it. He's got creeps in his face.
Yeah.
He's going to lose some XP. Like, this is a good time to pull. The equilibrium is going to get screwed up because your wave is under tower.
That's what I was about to say. I think that was my logic, and maybe I'm thinking a little bit too hard about equilibrium and not enough about just like denying them farm.
Yeah.
Because I think that was my reasoning about why I didn't pull in that situation right there.
It's going to get screwed up here regardless because the tower is killing your wave. So this lane will rubber band. And so if you go ahead and pull right now, you would actually pull the equilibrium back, because if nothing happens, like both of these, like this is going to survive and this is going to push up, right? Some of these creeps might survive and push up. Basically, if any of their waves survives, it's going to rubber band and come back out. If both waves die, it's going to do a hard reset to where it normally would be, which would be about here. And obviously, if your wave survives, then the tower dies, right? So that's not going to happen. So it's going to reset to like here, or it's going to reset to like about here, depending on how strong this camp is. If this is a double stack camp, and you just pull this in and kill it, then then there's no wave. This will push up and die under tower, and then you have a hard reset.
Right.
But anyway, I think this would be a good time to pull right here. Regardless, I wouldn't be walking back this far. Maybe you're walking back for your courier. Let me see. Are you walking back for your courier? This is the time to be playing up. Like, if you're not going to pull, then you're basically like right next to Tidehunter throwing right clicks. You know, helping him get denies, like getting last hits that he can't get, you know, harassing and stuff like that. That's what you want to be. That's your job in the Skywrath. And if this was an absolutely terrible matchup for Tidehunter, then I would want you to be doing this stuff on the side more. But this is a decent matchup for Tidehunter. It's not the worst.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he loses all his mana, but it's not like AIM's just going to kill him, right?
Right.
Dire are scanning.
Uh-oh. Going a little too far. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We can just chalk this one back up to you're playing on the side too much, playing a little bit too passively, and not bringing yourself enough mana regen is the main three things here. So
that makes sense. Yeah, it is a little bit of a different mindset, because I think a lot of initiators, the like prioritizing boots is a lot more important, because you need to physically get close to be able to do your initiation. A lot of positioning stuff is a lot more important, whereas like someone like Sky, positioning is important, but it's kind of it's proactive instead of reactive. So it's like I shouldn't even be entering certain parts if I don't know that I'm going to be safe there or that I have backup there. Whereas with Clockwork, it's like I kind of just do what I do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's hard for people to stop me. I have cogs if I kind of fuck up, or I can ult out if I need to.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That makes sense. Yeah, because you like every single fight you're walking up to as a Skywrath, you can see like, do I want to position on the left or on the right, and then you're just going to be in that area. Like you don't need to go anywhere particular. Like Skywrath, actually, I'd say positioning is not important at all outside of like not being in front. Like Jakiro is similar. Like he needs to actually line his spells up, so his orientation to the enemies is more important. But you're almost entire. Well, you basically are all just single target, and like two of your spells are homing, so you can just shoot them and run away. One of them is targeted, and then the other one is just like on the ground, point target. So positioning is not anywhere near as important with Skywrath as it is on these other guys.
Right.
So yeah, okay. I think that's pretty much it. Unless you had any other questions, I would say this one we could just chalk this up to regen, being in the lane more, and using the pull camp a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more. That's basically it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's mostly that.
Okay, cool.
That makes sense for that one.
Thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. If it was, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my Dota coaching playlist at the end of the video. I stream every weekday at Mr. Rip TV on Twitch. Let me know what you think of this format. I'm trying to condense my videos down to 30 minutes or less when it comes to Dota coaching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.